Katy Perry said she used to pray away the gay at Bible camp. That's right, when she was accepting her Human Rights Campaign National Equality Award on Saturday, she said, quote, "I kissed a girl and I liked it. Truth be told, A, I did more than that. But B,
tell me more.
How was I gonna reconcile that with a gospel singing girl raised in youth groups that were pro-conversion camps? What I did know is that I was curious, and even then I knew sexuality wasn't as black and white as this dress. Ostensibly, she's wearing a black and white dress. And honestly, I haven't always gotten it right, but in 2008, when that song came out, I knew that I started a conversation that a lot of the world seemed curious enough to sing along to." She also went on to say that at her Bible camps that she went to, the word homosexuality went along with words like abomination and hell.
Yeah. So I love this story because I think, one, it's right or wrong, it's more powerful when people in pop culture talk about this stuff and it affects a lot more people. So it's not just that she's kissed a girl and done more. Again, I'm not gonna argue with her if she tells us more. Anyway, it's that she says, hey, these conversion camps are wrong. And calling them camps is kind of an interesting language, and say, don't do this to people. It's not the right thing, and it draws attention to something that had been accepted. And shouldn't be accepted, because it's basically psychological and sometimes physical torture to try to get people to stop who they are. And you can't stop your core identity.
Yeah, it's tough. One of my favorite Daily Show, like original Daily Show era segments was when they went and interviewed a guy who had gone to gay conversion therapy and he said it worked. And then they walk around with him and ask him questions about his life and what he does to pray away the gay. And one thing involves just taking a tennis racket and angrily hitting his bed with it. Just start yelling, free association. And it's all this stuff that, like, sir, you might think this is healthy as a way to pray away the gay, but anyone watching it would say you still need help. And the help isn't to get the gay away, it's to get away the people, get the tennis racket away from you, and get away from you the people who told you that this is how you deal with who you are as a person. Just embrace it, move forward.
So Brett, that's actually one of my favorite clips of all time.
Oh, so good.
We covered it when CNN did that. A great reporter on that story. She does all these wonderful, quirky, but smart stories. And the main thing that he would yell was, as he was hitting it with the pillow with a tennis racket, was, "Mom, mom, mom, why have you done this to me?" Oh yeah, he's cured, right? Yeah. The other thing he would do, and they showed it, is that part of his therapy for others as he's converting them is he would have the other males sit on his lap and did rock back and forth together.
Oh, this is problematic.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting story. It helps to change the narrative around Christianity and sexuality, because it seems as though, the Mike Pencean camp of folks tend to have a monopoly on this conversation. And there are Christian folks who don't propagate the message of conversion therapy. And I think when you have someone like Katy Perry come out who has this background, who says this is wrong, I think it's an important step to kind of separate Christianity from this stigmatizing practice that they all don't subscribe to.
So the great point by Amber, because look, there's a lot of great stuff in Christianity, a lot of not so great stuff. And eventually through time, we've gotten rid of, through our culture, some of the stuff that isn't that palatable. So for example, divorce was 100% frowned upon, and you were hell and abomination and all that stuff. And then everybody was getting divorced, so they're like, oh, let's just get rid of that, right? You're not supposed to eat shellfish, right? They're like, oh, but shrimp is delicious. And how about lobster? Are you kidding me? Let's get rid of that. So they are willing to get rid of stuff because the religion and the text doesn't matter. What matters is culture and what you actually practice. So if we can get them to get rid of the conversion camps where you're doing the psychological torture, that's great, we'll take it. Is it really hypocritical if you look at the text? Maybe. But better that they don't do it.
Yeah, it's just not that important. That part of the Bible that you're probably misquoting isn't the important part of the Bible. The important part, I mean, I went to Catholic school as like a mostly Jewish person, and it was just so confusing.
What percentage?
Just halvesies, right down. I'm exactly as Jewish as Ben Mankiewicz. Like, we're just like, you're kind of in this weird limbo, and people are telling you all kinds of stuff about different religions. But like the only parts that I found overlap in were just the parts that were like, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
be a nice person to other people. There's different disagreements. and strange overlap with like the characters in all 3 books. Like they're all the same folks, and then they each get their own miniseries, really. But like what you need to focus on is just be friendly, don't be a jerk, and don't make people change who they are unless they're actually physically hurting you.
Yeah, look, even Sam Harris acknowledges the Old Testament is actually the most violent and most ridiculous out of the 3 books, right?
It's a great read, though.
Oh, it is. It's a fascinating read. If you read it, you will immediately become an atheist.
No.
Most of the like 3rd book is just like, this is how you don't die from your food. Like put it over here, take a shower, don't go to bed in your own poop.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
But if at the end of the day we stop reading those texts, which is preposterous for Old Testament, New Testament, Quran. This is my opinion, Amberia. And you just wind up doing the Wheaton rule of don't be a dick, right? Which he does, built upon video games, but you can actually apply it to religion. Then great, then that's a big win for the whole world. And by the way, you're technically. There's a word that Malcolm Fleschner has come up for you. You are Jew-ish.
Jewish. Jew enough.
By the way, I found it.
Mom.
That's him.
Mom, why did you do that to me?
What?
That's it. That's the clip.
Oh gosh, it's creepy. How did you just have that queued up?
Well, man, that soundboard ain't no joke. Okay,
that's
crazy.
That was not.
By the way, if you give $270 to tytnetwork.com/go to fund our journalism campaign, you not only get the cool shirt, you also get a thumb drive with everything on the soundboard.
Wow.
So you could do that at home.
That's amazing.
And in the post game, I will tell you guys why I am now have a new campaign against the word bi-curious. Because she mentioned curious a couple of times here, okay? And it is, what I'm going to say is potentially controversial. So that'll be fun. That'll be for the members of the post game. So tytnetwork.com/join to become a member. Podcast the Young Turks anytime you want. tytnetwork.com/join.
I think it's weird.
No, it's not weird. In fact, you'll think,
I'm like a smart person.
do it now, tytnetwork.com/join.